get into the highlight in Crypto.com Arena. You can see him, the man, the myth. Kawhi Leonard has returned in this one. Kawhi Leonard, first game since October 23rd. Hits a turnaround jumper there. You can see one more time, Zach.
What's up, Killian Hayes? Have some of that.
Fourth quarter, Clippers up 4 here. Paul George gets a steal and then throws it down at the other end. Beautiful play by Paul George. And then later in the fourth, the Clippers up 6 at this point. Kawhi in transition, weaving through the lane. Nice touch, gets the layup to go. The Clippers win this one 96-91. Let's take a listen to Kawhi Leonard after the game.
It's going to be a long journey. ACL recovery isn't just 1 year. Everybody thinks that, but it's a 2-year process. So I know that, and I'm going to keep going and going through the process.
Welcoming in our Clippers reporter, Massouk. So that's what Kawhi said about his ACL injury. It kept him out all of last year. But what did Kawhi say specifically about what kept him out for 12 games straight?
Well, Malika, he was cryptic as usual. When he was asked what exactly was he experiencing during those 12 games off, he said, I'm not going to go into detail about it. I'm not a doctor, and neither is anyone in this room. As much as my Asian parents wish I was a doctor, I'm not a doctor. What I do know, or at least I've been told, is that Kawhi definitely felt something in his knee at the beginning of the season, enough to give them pause to try to figure out, let's strengthen this. Let's make sure that this does not linger on into the season. Hopefully that they can have him healthy for the postseason. So now they start all over again, building his minutes back up. He played about 24 minutes last night. He started as well. He came up about 6 or 7 minute stretches in each stint. So now the other thing too is they have to wait and see how he's going to feel daily. We got to see how his body reacts today and tomorrow before the game, and hope that there's no sort of flare-up or anything like that.
I want to dive a little bit more, though, into the comments that Kawhi Leonard made, Zach, because it was a little bit interesting to hear him say, well, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not really going to explain any of what was going on with him for the last several weeks, when he knows and the Clippers know that that's all anybody is interested in. How are you? What was going on? And is this going to recur? How concerning was that for you?
I wish someone in the room had stood up and said, I'm a doctor, and started answering the questions. But look, I thought it's concerning that we don't get an explanation. You know, with Kawhi and the Clippers, you're not going to get an explanation. That's just par for the course. I thought last night he looked rusty, rustier than I expected. A little bit worse, frankly, than he looked in the first 2 games he had played this season, and a little tentative. I expected him to come out and say, okay, I'm back, give me the ball in my spots. He was deferential to other teammates, and maybe that's fine. Like he said, it's his first game back in a while. Maybe it's a 2-year process. And at the end of the game, we saw that transition layup. He kind of started seizing the game a little bit. So maybe it's just going to take time. But I last night fell a little short of my expectations and hopes for him. But look, this is about the next 15 or 20 games. We're at the quarter mark of the season. The Clippers have to, at some point, establish an identity and a system, and they're going to need Kawhi to play a lot of games to do that.
Perk, what did you think of Kawhi Leonard last night?
Well, I mean, it's alarming because I had the Clippers picked as my title favorite, but guess what? I'm about to have a Kendrick Perkins moment right here and do what I do best. And I'm about to yes. And I'm about to change my pick. I don't know who I'm going to pick, but I know it's not the Clippers. And it's not because of the others. It's because the Clippers are not going to win a championship if Kawhi Leonard is not at his peak, especially with the competition that the league has right now. Kawhi Leonard has to be the best version of himself, and for him to be missing games and for him to look the way that he did last night. And I know he just came back, but I'm looking at his movement. I'm looking at his lateral movement, his speed, his agility, things to that nature. And I wasn't happy about it. So with that being said, I'm doing what I do best, and I'm going to switch it up. I don't know who I'm picking, but I know it's not the Clippers.
Perk, it's not even Thanksgiving, and you're bailing on the Clippers already?
He's taking the field. Bold pick, Perk, the field.
Yeah.
Taking the field versus the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard.
This is alarming, though. This is alarming.
He had 6 points in 24 minutes. It marked his fewest points in a game since 2015. That game just so happened to be against the Clippers. Massouk, thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with us here on NBA Today.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.